Dang it, Hooded Ron, you're really messing up my immersion with that pirate pistol. Says the one holding a lime green toy store revolver. Hey, whatever. Why'd you call me here? I thought he did. Well, I thought you did. Wait, what? Well, someone's gotta be lying. Are we? Yeah, this just sounds like a confusing plot. No. You're my older brother, and you're my enemy. I thought I was your official roommate, and he was your doctor. Wait, no, I did your taxes, or was that mine? Then what does that make me? About to be nothing if you keep whining about it. Oh yeah, really? Wait, what are we doing here? No, I think I got it. You're his doctor, he's my roommate, and you did my taxes, right? Okay, you guys figure out this overly confusing plot. I gotta get to the review. Oh, what movie? The Lone Ranger. I see what you did there. That was subtle. The Lone Ranger is a 2013 film directed by Gore Verbinski, who also directed Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm telling you this because this is basically Western Pirates of the Caribbean. Although, that didn't really work out. Yeah, this movie lost a ton of money, and it's pretty much been forgotten in the public eye. And one of the main criticisms was that the movie was way too long and had an overly confusing plot. I remember seeing this movie when I was just 11, and I don't think I ever really knew what was actually going on. So, now that I'm older, I figured I could really see the deeper themes being portrayed. And yes and no. This movie still is pretty overly complicated, but I do think it is still criminally underrated. But maybe taking my time to actually break it down will help me understand it more. We got a lot to cover, so let's get started. What? How long is this? It's 2.5 hours, man. We're already 12 seconds behind schedule. You guys just figured this out. Alright, so if you're my roommate, then who's my brother? I thought you were, right? This is The Lone Ranger. So we start the movie off in San Francisco, 1933. This is The Lone Ranger, right? And then we see Pennywise? No, really. What movie is this? So there's a kid at a Western exhibit, and he comes across Johnny Depp, playing Jack Sparrow, Yeah, Jack Sparrow. What was in those peanuts? So then Jack Sparrow, Tonto. Sorry. Keep forgetting that these are supposed to be two different characters. In fact, I probably end up mixing up their names the whole time. He recalls the day that him and the Lone Ranger robbed a bank, and then they cut to him on a train alongside poorly CG'd Buffalo before he was the Lone Ranger. Yeah, I'm just gonna call this Exhibit A of pointless, overcomplicated story. So John Reed went to law school, and is on a train headed towards a rural town where his older brother is at. However, both Jack Sparrow and the main villain in the movie just happen to be prisoners on the passenger train. Wow, this plot has already been called multiple things, don't lump in convenient with it too. But while we're here, William Fichtner really does an amazing job as the main villain, Butch Cavendish. It really feels like he was born to play this role. You can feel the presence anytime he's on screen. And strangely enough, I actually really do like Johnny Depp as Tonto too. Yeah, it is just mainly Johnny Depp playing, well, Johnny Depp, but he does actually have a really interesting backstory. And honestly, I think both Tonto and the Lone Ranger, played by Armie Hammer, have a really good dynamic together and do have some really good banter. We also get introduced to these people. I'm saying that with uncertainty because I'm not sure who they are, and I don't think the movie does either. But oh no, Butch's gang is breaking him out, as we get to see what I'm going to call Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp. In fact, why don't we just start a counter so I don't have to keep mentioning it. Jack Sparrow hints at a past with Butch, as John Reed gets captured by the gang. Jack tries to escape, I guess. Seriously, what was his plan there? I'm starting to think he actually believes that Bird is alive. Sparrow wants to leave his passengers, but since John is a man of heart and justice, he wants to save them. Also, John's older brother saves them, and we get to see a Michael Bay train explosion. John turns Tonto in, and the random girl from earlier turns out to be his sister-in-law. I don't really know what that has to do with anything, but there seems to be something way more going on between them than just that. John meets Latham Cole, which I'll just tell you right off the bat is the stereotypical big bad rich villain. Then the whole gang goes out looking for Butch. They're honestly beautiful deserts and rocks. Seriously, the cinematography is amazing. They then get ambushed by Butch and his gang, and they keep shooting down the gang one by one until they stop, so we can get a supposed emotional moment between two characters, though I honestly don't even remember if they had a single line of dialogue between them. Then Butch comes and you know Dizzy, touching people's hearts since 1869. Tonto finds them and... oh, sorry, I forgot this was supposed to be retelling. Speaking of which, how the heck did you know what was going on here? Anyway, he puts the bag of peanuts from the San Francisco Fair on the guy, which I guess is not stealing if you're stealing from yourself, but come on Dizzy, you're better than this. At least you used to be. Sparrow comes across the so-called spirit horse, who points to John Reed being a spirit walker, who apparently cannot die. So he has a weird Force Awakens vision thingy. So I guess Disney tested all their bad ideas for the Star Wars sequels out in The Lone Ranger, and for some reason still went with it. John wakes up and... 1. How? 2. Why? 3. How did he not notice that? 4. How did he get down? And 5. Why? Seriously, why would they risk a plot contrivance just for a cool trailer shot? Or did I just answer my own question? Jack tells John that he is a spirit walker, and they reluctantly team up to get revenge on Butch. And again, both Armie Hammer and Giant Deb do have really good chemistry together. Tonto tells him to wear the mask because everyone thinks he is dead. And I will give the movie credit that I like how they start Lone Rangering pretty early on in the movie instead of just dragging it out. Although, it might just seem like that since it is a 2.5-hour movie. They go to, I'm just gonna call Gore Verbinski, wanted to throw weird things in for really no reason at all outside of it just being weird. But we do get to see Chewbacca, and then a discount cantina scene. All we need now is a chopped off lemon. This is a Star Wars movie. But in this one, they would probably just eat it. We then see Helena Bonham Carter playing Helena Bonham Carter, as we get to hear a hilarious joke.
What's with the mask?
Oh, that wasn't funny? Oh, sorry. Well, they keep on saying it like 5 times throughout the movie. We see she has a gun for her leg, which I can only imagine where the other one went. Seriously, do I even bother making a Sweeney Todd joke? Like, it's almost too easy. She warns them of Comanche tribe raids on settlements where these two people are. Who are they again? And they then want to go find them. Yeah, I guess the whole Butch vengeance just kind of gets put on hold. And also, I bet you thought I forgot about the ongoing storyline. And I honestly wouldn't blame you considering all the other pointless storylines we have going on. Okay, Ryan, I think we got it. Our relation is that I'm your doctor, you did his taxes, and he gave me half a burrito from Taco Bell. We think. Okay, well then how does it solve why we all got contacted here for a standoff? Oh yeah, I forgot that's a storyline. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what you guys are talking about. I just keep trying to figure this out. I'm sure there's a good story in here somewhere. Really? I don't know at this point. They go to these people's ranch, which is supposedly being attacked by the Comanche. Our heroes come to find that it's actually Butch's gang dressing up as the Comanche to make it look like they violated the treaty. I give you Exhibit B, a pointless, overcomplicated plot. Yeah, I bet you forgot I was doing this too. But we also get to see Darth Maul. Hey, we've already seen Disney shoehorn him in things he had no business being a part of, so I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, and also we get this gem again.
What's with the mask?
Get it? It's a mask. Who wears masks? John wants to turn the criminals in without killing them because he's all about justice, I think. And Sparrow says that the tracks lead to where these two went. Speaking of these two, they're in the clutches of Butch's gang, and Cavendish gets word that the Lone Ranger is still alive. Our two heroes continue to, again, actually have a pretty good dynamic until they come across train tracks in Indian territory. Then... Dude, why do they keep on randomly putting that storyline in, like I do with my human story in my videos? You've summoned us? No, I've still got half a movie to cover. People are upset that the Comanche supposedly violated the treaty, so the US cavalry gets sent by the big bad rich guy. Both Jack and John go to the Comanche tribe, where the leader tells the story of Tonto. And honestly, this is one of the more interesting and well done parts of the script. John learns that he sold out his entire tribe for a watch because he was blinded by greed. So now that guilt has haunted him forever until he can get redeemed by killing Butch. And that greed really ends up becoming one of the main themes of the movie, and has a really good payoff. And on that note, even though the out of order storytelling is kind of pointless, it does really bring some good third act payoff. And it's really just kind of satisfying to watch it all come together. Oh, but don't forget.
What's with the mask?
Someone must have really thought they hit the jackpot of jokes with that gem. The cavalry charge the Comanche, while we get more of just Verbinski being Verbinski. Then they both set to find these two where the river begins. Butch and his gang are mining for silver, which I'm not really sure what has to do with the trains and everything, so I'll just call it Exhibit C. Our heroes pose for a poster shot and confront Butch. Tonto wants to kill him and get revenge, while John wants to give him justice. Sparrow tells him that they're alike because they have nothing left, but John isn't willing to accept that and knocks him out, while crossing the desert to bring Butch to justice. He goes to these guys, along with the big bad rich guy, as it's revealed that both of them and Butch are brothers, obviously trying to draw a parallel between John and Tonto, I think. Honestly, there's so many subplots, you can really only focus on the ones you're somewhat interested in. Then this kid, who I still don't really know or care about, gives actually a somewhat emotional performance, until the cavalry general comes in to spice things up. And he immediately gets turned evil by the big bad rich guy. So now all 3 of our villains' interests get turned into big bad rich guys just looking for silver. And this all happens within the span of like a minute. What? I don't know, it seems to make sense to me. Oh, right. How could I be confused with Butch's gang posting as the Comanche to make them look like they broke the treaty so the big bad rich guy could have a reason to call up the US cavalry to wipe out the Comanche so that the big bad rich guy could build his transcontinental whatever and get even richer while discovering the silver, which somehow relates to all of that, so all of them could become rich and live happily ever after. It's all right in front of me. Aha, I got it. Wait, you forget why we were all brought here? What? No, I got the itch on my back I couldn't reach all day with this. It's been bugging me for a long time. Really? That's your biggest concern right now? I mean, it was a pretty big itch. So you itch. Hey, obviously it was none of us. So who could have manipulated us like that? Hee, ha, ha. And I thought my jokes were bad. No one said a joke. Whatever. It was I who set you up. Who are you? What? You teased me at the end of the Stranger Things video. Isn't this a big reveal? Not really. Yeah, what are your intentions? To turn you against each other, to hack into your YouTube channel too. Okay, but what is your end goal? Money. What? That's really the best thing you could come up with. Yeah, why do you even need money? I don't know. Money? Alright, someone get this bird out of here. Oh, what did you just call me? Do I look like a bird to you? Yeah. You asked for it. Oh, get it off me. Get it off me. Hold on. Hey. Whatever. So while John is captured by our one-dimensional villains, Tonto comes to the rescue after the firing squad conveniently took way too long to shoot. Then Takemichi ambushed them with a swarm of arrows, and we get a really intense action sequence between them, until they eventually get massacred by machines. Tonto mourns the loss of his people, reminiscent of what happened to him as a kid. And again, we get a really emotional scene between them. Then John realizes that since the law is controlled by the big bad rich guy, he needs to become an outlaw. And I think that was actually a pretty good character arc for him, that sometimes you have to break the rules to do good. Both John and Jack blow up a bridge and reveal that they got it from the bank heist that they showed at the very beginning, which was some satisfying third act payoff. Then the big bad rich guy takes control of the shareholders meeting as, oh yeah, I forgot she was a part of this movie, helps Tonto steal the train. And then we get the absolute best part of the movie. I'm not kidding. The third act train battle makes watching the rest of the movie completely worth it. I remember when I was 11 watching this, that it was the only thing I really remembered, and there's a good reason for it. When that original song kicks in, you just can't help but grin like an idiot through the whole thing. But while the original song is iconic, I think Hans Zimmer's score is even better. I mean, come on, it's Hans Zimmer, so you know it's going to be good. But yeah, the action is exciting the whole way through, even with... Although, the action sometimes gets a little too crazy. Jeez, are we sure you're not the Spirit Walker? I mean, yeah, I get that the action is going to be a little exaggerated since Tonto is telling the story to a kid, but that's the problem. If he's telling this to a kid, then why the heck would he include shareholder meetings and stuff about the New York Stock Exchange that he wasn't even there for? Is that really the extent of your imagination? But we do get this.
Not today.
Oh, sorry. I can't believe I forgot about the extremely relatable issue of your husband dying only to then kiss his brother the day after his death. But the Hans Zimmer score finale kicks in, while that random kid throws John a bullet. Wow, that kid's got a strong arm. Seriously, I'm trying to think everyone outside this supposed Spirit Walker is the actual Spirit Walker. But John takes one last shot and the big bad rich guy, and Tonto gets to fulfill his arc. And this is really the most compelling part of the movie. He spends the whole time thinking that the people who killed his people were just godlike monsters who he can never reach and get revenge. Although, it turns out that they were just greedy men just like he was. Except, the difference is, Tonto learned to change, and Railroad Boy didn't. He gives the greedy guy the watch he sold out his people for, and goes falling down the destroyed bridge. And the music finally stops with our two heroes standing above it. It's really an end to one of the most thrilling sequences ever. Then, the Lone Ranger and Tonto finally ride off together, while old Tonto gives the kid the silver bullet, and lets him decide himself if he thinks the story is true. So that was the Lone Ranger. So, what'd you guys think? Oh, right. Oh, jeez, that's a strong peak. Guys? Okay, I'm gonna pull him off of you. Ready? Just do it, man. Guys? Oh, wow, he's really not letting go. What? I asked what you thought of the movie. Oh, I don't like it. Too long. Really? That's the only thing you can say about it? You just spent this whole time talking about how long and bloated it was. Yeah, but is that really a valid argument? I mean, people love the Nolan films, and those go up to like 3 hours and almost always confuse people. Huh.
I'm sorry, I feel really out of place here. What is happening?
Shut up, we're thinking. Well, but is that really what people wanted out of the Lone Ranger, though? Well, that is definitely true. I applaud the writers for wanting to make this a longer, grittier movie, but I don't think that's what people really came to the theater to see. They came to see some of their favorite childhood icons team up and fight in a fun western. And we've seen what's happened with subverting expectations before, even though apparently Disney didn't see that, somehow. So I can see how most people would be disappointed with a story like this, even though I think some of the arcs are actually really interesting. The villains are whatever, except for Fichtner, who brings a good presence, and the side characters are definitely forgettable, and just why. But when that final battle finally comes and the music ramps it up, that's really where you're going to get the bulk of your enjoyment. I just think for some people it was too little too late. So to me, I think it's still criminally underrated, although I can also somewhat understand where others are coming from. And it's definitely a shame that it flopped, because with these two amazing leads together, I think think that the series could have gone somewhere special, but for now, it will just be one forgotten distant memory of a Pirates of the Caribbean looking spin-off thingy. But I'll still definitely find enjoyment out of it. So what, are we just supposed to accept this to our cinematic universe? Well, I guess we'd have to give him a name. Oh, no. You're gonna give a stuffed bird a name before me? I've been waiting since the Power Rangers review. You still haven't given him one? End of the line. Oh, yeah? Yeah, can't do anything now. Wait.